What up? It's your dog Louisiana, aka Louisiana Cash. Right now I'm in the ATL and I'm rocking with 24/7 magazine. You already know, man. Salute.
Let's start off with the name, man. Obviously you started off different name. You made some changes. Tell us a little bit about that.
It was just time to reinvent. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm always been attached to like Louisiana Cash, but it was time to reinvent. You know what I'm saying? Same music, same style, same flow, same. You know what I mean? Same perspective on everything. It was just time to reinvent, and I wanted something original. Um, as far as the way it's spelt, you know what I mean, but still representing like where I'm from. So I'm just trying to do something new, man. You know what I'm saying? But still, it's Louisiana Cash forever. You know what I mean? We ain't running from that, but it's something new.
Okay, so being from Louisiana, tell us a little bit about how you grew up. Because I don't personally, I know the music,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know the person. So uh, break down that how you grew up.
So I grew up in North Louisiana. You know what I'm saying? The 318. So it's a little bit more on the it's not as city, you know what I'm saying? We got Shreveport, and it's probably like the biggest city in our parts, but everything else is like a down home feel, you know what I'm saying? You come down there, things get tight on you. It's gonna be more trees, you know what I'm saying? But it's good people. But it's a real place. I always say it's a real place. We ain't going for nothing that's flaw. You know what I'm saying? Like people can. It's just you kind of wear everything you are on your sleeve. You know what I'm saying? Where I'm from, so you're gonna have a lot of love. Then it's a lot of hate too. You just gotta know how to maneuver. You know what I'm saying? So, but I represent it everywhere I go for sure.
So being from Louisiana and having we know about New Orleans, we know about Baton Rouge. What are some of the differences? I know you said it's more trees and things of that nature, but other than that, what are some of the big differences, especially from an artist perspective?
Artist perspective, it's not as many chances. You know what I'm saying? It's harder to kind of get out because there's not as many outlets down there. The pipeline is like in Baton Rouge, New Orleans. You got that pipeline of Cash Money, No Limit. You got Trill coming out of Baton Rouge. It's not a pipeline in North Louisiana. You know what I'm saying? So you got to really figure out the music and you got to go for it. You got to be all over because just in that area, you're not really just gonna rap your way up out of there just by not moving around. Now, you got Grambling, you got Louisiana Tech, you got the universities that you can actually use to play because that's 50 states when you talking about universities. You know what I mean? It's like 50 states right there with all the people that come from everywhere they're coming from. So you got to learn how to use it to your advantage. You know what I mean? But the biggest difference is the outlets. You know what I mean? New Orleans is no place like New Orleans. Baton Rouge, the same thing. But we still kind of like feed off them as far as energy, as far as sound. It's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? We just up north a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? But it's all Louisiana.
So how did you get involved in the music when you were originally an athlete, right?
Yeah.
So what happened there, and
I was always the rapper though. Like even like freshman year, high school, eighth grade, um, on varsity freshman year, I'm the one that's rapping. They make rap all the way to whatever trip we go to, you know, a rapping. So music was always there. Um, Making beats was always there. So I just was the one that took it serious. You know what I mean? Like a lot of times we all doing it, but niggas stop. You know what I'm saying? Just stop, or they just fall off and not take it serious. I was the one that really just kept taking it serious. You know what I'm saying? And I linked up with like a local record label, and then they fell off and stopped. I just kept going. Then they fell off and stopped. I just kept going. So I mean, it's more than just like a hobby for me. Like it's a way of life. It's actually, you know, I'm trying to figure this thing out. You know what I'm saying? Like real to top and really blow with it. So
now you actually you began as a group member,
yeah.
correct? Now what happened with the group?
They stop. You know what I'm saying? Just stop. And niggas just stop and just want to do something else. They don't be thinking it's possible. Like it be too much sometimes. Like to keep going and spending your money and not seeing it back. But I'm with all that. So a lot of time people just stop. I just keep on going.
Okay, so originally, I was introduced to you. I believe I got it. We had two mixtapes.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember what the other one was, but the one in particular was DJ Slick.
Yo.
Obviously we're from Indianapolis originally, so
Okay.
Louisville's right up the street. So we hit Louisville quite a bit.
For sure.
So we that I believe it was called I Go Hard.
At the crib, yo, shout out to Slick, man. That's my dog. That's
Okay,
my dog
so
sure.
how did you get linked up with them?
Actually, like a while back, like Slick was a part of a DJ crew. You know what I'm saying? Like he have his own DJ crew with Kemp, and shout out to Kemp, and everybody out there. They didn't show big love, but they would actually network and link up with a DJ crew that I was affiliated with. You know what I'm saying? So I go out there and it's been love ever since. Like Louisville was actually one of the first markets that showed me like some love as far as like a record. Like Walk with a Dip, they really blew that up like type still to this day. You know what I'm saying? It's one of their songs too. So that's how we linked up, and me and Slick like real tight, real like family, like been to his house type. You know what I'm saying? Cool. So shout out to everybody out there in Louisville, Kentucky, the whole Kemp. Well, now it's Allegiance, you know what I'm saying? And shout out to everybody in Allegiance. But yeah, man, it's been love back then. So that's how it came together, sent them the music, and that was really one of them classic mixtapes though. Like that's one of my favorite mixtapes, that I Go Hard.
Right. And on that one in particular, what was the mindset behind Letter to Obama?
At that point, it was like, say you in there, just do us right. The same thing we on with Biden. Like, hey, you in there, boy, do it right. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it was a letter to Obama, just writing, like expressing concerns or asking them, kind of having a conversation through music, but saying what we need to say, like, hey man, lower gas prices, my nigga, like you tripping. Come on. You know what I mean? So it was real, but at the same time, it was like the lingo was there too. So it was like having like a dump down conversation with the president if you could really see him, not being square, nothing, just talking to him how we talk to him.
Now, as an artist, obviously, we're going through COVID right now, pandemic, and things are shut down. Artists are having hard time. They're finding different ways to, be successful and to get themselves out there. What are some of the adjustments that you've had to make this year?
More internet presence. You know what I'm saying? For sure. You gotta use that as one of the, like, use that tool. You gotta use it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the really the biggest way you're gonna touch the people right now with everything being shut down. You got some states not allowing clubs to be open. You know what I'm saying? So the internet, man, playing on that internet, like staying out there with that. And we actually working on something as far as like a virtual show. You know what I'm saying? You gotta just finding ways like that to stay out there with it and still on the scene, but not physically. So the internet for sure.
All right. So, like I said, the DJ Slick, that was quite a bit some time ago. That was a while back. Now, at this point, how many projects have you released?
I don't even know. Hey, that's one thing I really want to like check out, and really, I always say I need to go back and count. I don't even know.
So what's the mindset behind, I believe I read that it was 30 mixtapes.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, what's the mindset behind creating so much, staying active?
Got to. That's the recipe right now, consistency. You know what I'm saying? Just looking at all the artists that's out there, the top artists, they just drop more than everybody else. So that's the recipe for it right now. You gotta stay consistent. You gotta put out a lot of product, and I'm really just getting back into that mode of having a lot more work than everybody else. Cause sometimes you can put out a lot, then you feel like you gotta take a little break. You know what I'm saying? You need a hey coach, I need a little rest. Nah, ain't no rest right now. You gotta go all the way through the fourth quarter. So yeah, just putting out enough work so people can get it. And then once you do that, you smooth selling. Then you still gotta go in. You know what I'm saying?
So kind of break down, where you've been over the last couple of years, and just the journey from, you know, from then until now. Because I noticed that in your new project, you mentioned, the struggles, just like any other artist, any other business owner, we all go through it. We all feel those growing pains. How's it been for you?
It's been a roller coaster. You know what I'm saying? You got your ups and your downs, and like I say, man, the ups always outweigh the downs. You know what I'm saying? So I moved. I stayed in Charlotte for a year. You know what I mean? Touched New York. I went up there. It was always work though. Dallas, Houston, Louisiana. It was always still work. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that come with it. Even if you're at the highest level of the game, you're gonna have them days where it feel like, man, this shit here, I ain't really. You know what I mean? You're gonna have that, but you just wake up the next day and you brush that off. And you say, all right, it's time to get back to work.
Right.
So, I love it though. I embrace it all because them times is where you actually learn what you need to know to keep going and really what you made of. That's when a lot of boys kind of quit and fall back. Man, we ain't doing that.
Now you mentioned Dallas. I've been to Dallas one time in life.
Yeah.
And I had an excellent time out there. I actually went
Definitely.
Super Bowl when the Super Bowl was in Dallas.
I was there when it snowed.
Yeah.
I was there. Hey, for sure, yeah.
So we drove from Indianapolis all the way there in like a 15-passenger van,
Yeah.
and it's like the snow, like, we get snow all the time in Indianapolis, but there they didn't even have like ice, like they didn't have like salt trucks. So it was like they was putting bags of dirt and sand all over the place to try to keep people from falling. But it was I had a real good time out there. So what brought you to Dallas?
Man, Dallas always showed me love. Dallas even making music. Dallas was the first major city that showed me love on music. You know what I'm saying? Like, so shout out to Dallas and everybody in Dallas. That's actually where I'm at, like today. You know what I'm saying? Dallas, one of the markets. So it was they always show love and rock with Louisiana. You know what I'm saying? We right there by each other. So we feed off each other. It's the same energy. So they always show love, man. And the market is wide open out there. But you gotta be careful. You know what I mean? You gotta know how to maneuver. That's anywhere though. You know what I'm saying? Just knowing how to maneuver. But shout out to Dallas, man. I love that D.
Yeah, and being from those areas, it's a lot going on, especially with the artists these days. It seems like our generation.
Right now, it's a lot going on.
Yeah, absolutely. And our generation, we had Biggie and Tupac. But now it seems like every week, somebody going either from violence or drugs or whatever else it is. What's your take there?
You got to know how to move. Man, I think a lot of times people don't even want to have conversations when a conversation need to be had. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times it don't be about nothing. It don't be about nothing where boys be beefing over something and it don't even be worth it. You know what I'm saying? So I like to stay out the way, but in the mix, get my money and move around. Respect everybody though. You gotta respect everybody because that's what you want back. You can't try to step on nobody's toes on purpose. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times it be a power struggle. Boys be trying to, man, we ain't with all that. Man, the music is your power. You know what I'm saying? You got a better song, better music. You in the lead. You ain't gotta try to step on nobody, but I mean, that's the mentality. It's always like a crab in a bucket. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't with that. I'm going to slide by everybody, dap them up. We going to make our money. We going to keep on moving. You know what I'm saying?
So speaking of powerful music, new project, amazing album.
Appreciate it, man.
I said that boy cold,
Appreciate it.
It's a lot of versatility in the project, and I've always, from the rapping, you got club type records. You kind of bounce around a little bit with the different subject matters. Kind of break that down for us.
I call it jamming music. Jamming, bro. As long as the hook go with the beat, go with the verse, and it all makes sense on what you talking about. You know what I'm saying? And it feel good. It's just jamming music, and they can't nobody deny something that's jamming. You might not even be the best rapper. If it's jamming, they gonna rock with you. You might rap too much, but if it's jamming, they gonna rock with it. So just try to make sure the tempo right, Just try to make sure the tune, the tone, all that's right, the cadence right, and make the music jamming. So that's my job, you know what I'm saying, to figure out what's gonna make everything jamming, like whatever type of song it is. If it's like I'm talking about something I'm going through, it still got to jam. It can't be no boring ass struggle song. We ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying? We gonna still make it jam. So that's the whole thing about the music. Just and I like to say I'm in my own lane with that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of boys got trap music or club music or whatever type of music they make. Man, who jamming? You know, so that's the whole mindset.
Yeah, and me personally, I'm a lyrics guy, so I tend to to gravitate more towards those type of records. My business partner, he likes birthday song. Thinks that's a real dope record.
Appreciate it.
So like I said, I know that you kind of are able to cover all of those areas, and it sounds like it's effortless.
Yeah, it's a blend of all of it. It's a little rap. It's a little rap with a little fun, with a little party, with a little lyrics too. You know what I'm saying? It's gotta all make sense. And when you doing it like that, that make your music stick around for a long time. Cause you can't call me trash. You can't call me a club rapper. You can't call me what is jamming. That easy. It's that easy.
So now that we going into the end of the year, a lot of people start to slow down during this time. It looks like you picking up.
Yeah.
What's on the books for the next couple of months?
I got a Warning mixtape dropping in December. So the Warning mixtapes is actually gonna be volume 4. So if you hadn't heard the other volumes, man, make sure you go dig that up and go check that out because they hard. But I take like the hottest early 2000, 2010 instrumentals and just crash they beats. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna drop the volume 4 and then really I want to drop a Louisiana Cat versus Louisiana like ASAP. You know what I mean? So we're gonna have to figure that out. But I wanna come back ASAP because the energy of this first one is good energy, and I don't want to have the people waiting too long. Something else, hit them bang bang, then they'll be ready. You know what I'm saying?
With mixtapes, tell us what's your philosophy on the I guess the flow mixtapes, the rapping over other beats. Now that so much has changed in the business and now, they hitting boys left and right with different copyrights and trying to get through that red tape, like how does that work for you?
I got burnt out on it, like real talk. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not burnt out. It's just I was like, man, they ain't gonna bring no money, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, that do lead to the money because it's all work. It's all material. It's all product. But I really kind of fell off there for a little while. Like on some like, man, mixtapes, that take a lot of rapping. It's a lot of flows you will have. You can put them on songs, but all of it count. You know what I'm saying? So even if you do put out a mixtape for free and you got some of the hardest flows and lines you ever said that come with it, you got to put it out, especially on the way up. You know what I'm saying? So just watching the game, everybody done it. You know what I'm saying? So, and then you might come with a classic freestyle and the video come out and they know that word for word. People know that word for word. That's what you want. Like when you got them freestyles where you crash somebody else's beat and they know your version, yeah, that's something right there. So it's all worth it, man. Even if you put it out for free, it's still material. You still got to pay to shoot that video on another nigga beat. You know what I'm saying? So it come with it.
All right. So what do you what are you looking after? Like what's for 2021? Like what's the goal? Ultimate goal.
Ultimate goal, I'm gonna have like one of like the biggest songs, like top 10 single. Have another project that's gonna really like do numbers. You know what I'm saying? And then by like the summertime, we'll be talking to some labels. We might not have to even go that route, but if it makes sense, then we gonna do whatever, you know what I'm saying, makes sense. But I'll be the hottest artist at a good time in my life too, to where we ain't out there crashing out like boys be crashing out. We gonna get the money and do it right. So continue to be consistent, drop music, and watch. It's gonna be up. You're like, damn, that shit really happened.
Okay. So lastly, how can people find you? How can people on social media? How can people get to the project?
Man, you can hit me up on IG at Louisiana. That's LUI_ZANA. On Twitter, it's at Louisiana LUI_Z_ANA. Then on Facebook, it's at Louisiana LUI_ZANA. The project on all music platforms. So hit it on iTunes. We'll have it up on Tidal in a minute. Spotify, wherever you stream your music from, you can go get it and make sure you go grab that because really that's like the hardest thing out right now. Straight up.
All right, man. We appreciate you sliding through, and much success to you. Like I said, dope project, and we hope to see you again.
Appreciate it, man.